Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is July 23rd, 2025, and the top news for crypto are as follows. We will start with spot Bitcoin ETFs, where we see that on the 21st of the month, Monday, we broke the 12 consecutive days in inflows. That day, without BlackRock, it closed with $131 million in outflows. Let's say that in this 12-day series, the ETFs for Bitcoin saw inflows of $6.6 billion. And while these things happen to Bitcoin ETF, we go to Ethereum ETF, where the party doesn't stop. The interest remains stable, with the 21st of the month closing at $296 million in inflows. However, with the ETF Ethereum, which shows consistent interest, and with the price of Ethereum itself reaching $3,700 at a time when I record this episode, let's say many people are starting to get out of Ethereum. According to this tool, it takes 6 days to place Ethereum on a validator for stacking, while it takes 9 days to get your Ethereum out of stacking. Thus, many people want to remove their Ethereum from stacking on the Ethereum network, and this is usually the case every time someone is thinking of selling. Otherwise, they will leave it there. Let us now say that despite this observation, companies continued to buy Ethereum. We go to SharpLink, which bought the Ethereum worth $259 million, or 79,949 ETH. Continuing, we go to Bitmine, which is a Bitcoin mining company, and as we have seen in crypto news, will make an investment in Ethereum worth $500 million. And we have just learned that Ms. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest bought 182 million shares in this particular company. The result is that this share increased by 774% in the monthly diagram. Let's also say that in previous episodes of crypto news, we had Mrs. Cathie Wood selling companies and Bitcoin ETF shares to participate in this company. Moving on, let me tell you that the listed companies that are public, so we know what they are doing, bought $3.2 billion in Ethereum, or have bought 865,000 ETH, and these are companies we know. Everyone else who is private, we don't know what they have done, and the last company for today is Bitfarms, which announced that it will buy 10% of its shares behind it because it considers them undervalued. Let's say that it will buy 49.9 million shares, or as we said, 10% of its public marketing in the last 12 months. Its share has risen 30% on the weekly diagram. For our latest news about ETFs, we go to Solana, which we can say has about 12 days of life, and ETF's shares have reached a total of $105 million in inputs, much smaller than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And for the ETF's final news, we go to 21 shares, which wants to start an ETF on the ONDO finance for its institutional investors. Moving on to our companies outside the ETFs, we go to SpaceX, which has moved Bitcoin for the first time in the last 3 years. But it didn't happen shocking, it just had its Bitcoins in 16 wallets, and now it got it all and put it in one wallet. And from our companies, we go to PamFan, where big players seem to unload coins. Specifically, according to Look On Chain, two of the biggest investors in PamFan's ICO, who invested $100 million and $50 million, all or majority of their currency in exchanges. As a result, and based on what we have seen in previous crypto news episodes, the PamFan price has been reduced to $0.003. The coin's ICO was at $0.04, so anyone who buys PamFan now buys it cheaper than ICO. The main reason for the collapse of PamFan, in addition to mass sales, is that LetsBonk Pong's launchpad seems to make it even better. It has acquired 64% of the meme coins produced on Solana. As you can see from this chart, it has completely destroyed PamFan, and because of that, as we have said in previous episodes, this tool is using part of its profits to buy back the Pong meme coin. As a result, Pong has seen a 200% increase in the last 30 days. Moving on to the latest news for today's episode, we're going to the Kraken exchange, where first I want to tell you that the FBI is dropping its investigation into the founder of Kraken. The investigation involved charges filed by a non-profit organization. The founder of Kraken says that this case never meant anything to him, and for the latest news on Kraken, we're going to a Treasury that supports. Specifically, there is a company that has entered the NASDAQ called Windtree, which is the first company to enter and wants to create a treasury in BNB worth $200 million. Now, Kraken will take care of and manage the BNB assets of this company. And now it's time to go to our favorite cryptocurrency market, where Bitcoin is at $119,000. And we went so high again because we had positive news about tariffs. Specifically, Trump signed a deal with the last big player, Japan. Specifically, Trump announced a historic trade trade agreement with Japan, which includes $550 billion in investment in the US and 15% tariffs on imports. Japan will open its markets to US automobiles and agricultural products as part of the agreement. As for the Philippines, a deal was reached, with a 19% tariff on Filipino goods and market access for US imports. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is July 23rd, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.